Now our view zooms past the buildings of a towering skyline with the full moon and a deep blue sky hovering above. Titles appear as the images animate, starring Spiconia Adult Male Number 1 as Clint Boone, Spiconia Adult Male Number 3 as Darren Polish, Spiconia Adult Male Number 2 as Charles Ely, Microsoft Mike as Mark Bradshaw, Spiconia Adult Male Number 4 as Miles Neff, Spiconia Adult Male Number 7 is Alfonso Ribeiro, Microsoft Mike is Roy Samuelson, Spiconia Adult Male Number 3 is Sunil Malhotra, Spiconia Adult Male Number 4 is Chuck Stevens, Spiconia Adult Male Number 1 as Ben Sumner, Spiconia Adult Male Number 7 is Will Stacks, Spiconia Adult Male Number 8 as Clay Loney, the Columbia Torch Lady, Spiconia Adult Male Number 1 as Justin Ayer, and Spiconia Adult Male Number 3 as Christopher Flowers. NBC Productions Incorporated presents the 3:30 Bloopers Season 3, Episode 1, Darren Polish vs. the World. Now Clint Boone and Darren Polish stand in a computer-animated control room.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new season of 3:30 Bloopers. Let me introduce you to our new video operator, Darren Polish.
It's so great to be here, Clinton. Let me tell you something. I have never been in a control room like this before, so this is my first day.
So anyway, you've seen the behind-the-scenes video made within the past week. You at home have seen that as well. And with that we begin our third season of 3:30 Bloopers with this.
The first slide reads, Broken Arrow.
Is not in Broken Arrow. It's in Tulsa. Darren, you have to pay attention to these words and pictures, because some of them can be very confusing. Alright, let's see the next one.
Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown. Downtown Charlie Brown. Mr. Polish, you have to pay close attention to the words and pictures. And what is that, Pinwheel?
Mr. Pinwheel.
Mr. Polish, I'm sorry, Pinwheel, you need to go to CVS. Mr. Pinwheel, to CVS, immediately. Now Miles Neff is starting to come back on the slide, Mr. Polish. We're gonna have a talk about all of this. And Mr. Polish, you see that arrow that leads us to Graham Cracker Castle.
As Miles Neff appears in the corner of the screen, a pencil drawing of an arrow points to the right, beneath the words Graham Cracker Castle.
Then Miles Neff, then an arrow pointing to Graham Cracker Castle, and now you've added
Kim, my guest,
to the second slide of Season 3 of the 3:30 Bloopers. No, Mr. Polish, we cannot do that.
Now the arrow and the words Graham Cracker Castle grows larger in size. The words Mr. Pinwheel.
Now, Mr. Polish, you've added Mr. Pinwheel to Charlie Brown. Mr. Polish, I'm gonna have to call on Miles Neff.
CBS.
Miles Neff. And now, Mr. Polish,
I wonder what is up with Seinfeld.
you've added CBS, home of The Price is Right. And now,
The arrow
Mr.
now
Polish,
reads,
this arrow
Graham
now
Cracker.
reads, Graham Cracker. What are you going to do to this slide right now?
The pinwheel in the words Mr. Pinwheel grows larger, then an image of Mr. Pinwheel appears on screen. Now, the National Association of Broadcasters Seal of Good Practice.
How dare you subscribe to the television code? That wasn't necessary.
On a black background the words Try Again, above Mr. Pinwheel, followed by the Energizer Bunny.
Mr. Polish, really, does Floor 51 President Miles Neff want to hear you sing the song It Takes Two by Marvin Gaye and Kim Weston?
What if Sonic Drive-In played this song that's not about the two funnels in front of a small patio?
Philip Phillips. What is so consistent about Philip Phillips? And now, Mr. Polish, you're gonna take Philip Phillips and his runner-up Jessica Sanchez from Season 11 of American Idol to be co-hosts on the 3:30. No, I'm gonna have to call on Miles Neff if you do this again.
EA Sports.
And now, Mr. Polish, EA Sports. If it's in the game, it's in the game. Mr. Polish, EA Sports is not associated with the 3:30. Holy 1976.
And Mr. Boone, Crazy Rich Asians. How did Crazy Rich Asians come up on the screen when you got the deck standing right in front of you?
Miles Neff, you are sent to Peter Hayes' office. I can't believe you. Crazy Rich Asians, Miles Neff, you don't understand. I understand, Mr. Frank Mitchell, but how are we going to figure this one out? Miles Neff, Miles Neff, Miles Neff, Miles Neff.
Now
Miles
Mr.
Neff.
Pinwheel appears in the corner of the
And
seal of
why
good
does this
practice.
slide have a Yumi on every corner of the screen? There is. Mr. Polish, one more time, and I will send you to Miles Neff.
330 appears in a double arrow above Ayumi Hamasaki and Kim, my guest.
Add the word V to 330. And why is Ayumi Hamasaki and Kim, my guest, right below 330? Mr. Polish, don't do that again. And now I'm gonna send you to Miles Neff's office.
Miles Neff is watching you.
Oh, for the love of Seinfeld, Mr. Polish, don't put that on there, you little lousy rat. And now, Mr.
Final
Polish,
answer.
you put final answer on there. I'll show you final answer, because you don't know anything about final answer.
Now
like I
black
do.
paint underlines
Now
the word
Miles
you
Neff
in
is
Miles
really
Neff is watching you.
Mr. Polish.
50-50.
Now, you've added 50-50. Final answer. And now Miles Neff is using his 50-50. That's his final answer.
Christopher
And
Columbus.
now, Mr. Polish, you are gonna add Christopher Columbus to Miles Neff is watching you. Mr. Polish, no, you are not putting Christopher Columbus on the 330. Get it right, or I'll take you back to Miles Neff.
Now black paint crosses out the Columbus in the name Christopher Columbus, and it now reads Christopher Flowers. A message later becomes placed against a blue banner. It reads, to Sonic Drive-In, Kim, my guest. Now, the NBC Productions logo appears.
NBC Productions airs the 330.
NBC Productions, Mr. Polish. NBC Productions produces the 330. The 330, not NBC Productions. Try again.
Our view roves across a freight truck.
Next time. Try again.
Over Black Pac-Man appears above the words, try again. We zoom through the seal of good practice with Mr. Pinwheel at the bottom corner, and the Universal Globe appears at a theme park. The image distorts.
Studios, Florida.
Well, I guess maybe you would try to use 50-50 on that one.
Now the word later appears beneath the Seinfeld logo. An image of Mr. Pinwheel appears again, followed by a spinning globe. With Miles Neff.
Mr. Polish, is that Miles Neff? You need to contact Miles Neff immediately. Mr. Wonder Woman. Rogers County. Mr. Polish, we are not in Rogers County, we are in Tulsa County. Mr. Polish, one more outtake, and it's going over to Miles Neff.
Graham Cracker Castle.
Graham Cracker Castle, Mr. Polish, you are such a nut. Remember, Mr. Polish, the 330, not Graham Cracker Castle. Try again. And what, Miles Neff? The OK Tower, Miles Neff. Mr. Polish, you better not be at Miles Neff City when you're in Paradise City at Miles Neff, Miles Neff, Miles Neff, Miles Neff, Miles Neff. Get smart. Get smart. How did you get smart on screen if Get Smart is from 2008 and is read by Miles Neff?
What if Charles Davis was a double agent?
Charles Davis is not a double agent. Don't say that Charles Davis was a double agent. Double agent, double agent, double agent.
Leapfrog.
Oh, it's Leapfrog. What if Leapfrog produces the 330 on a LeapPad learning book?
Touch the rainbow circle with your pen. Miles Neff, Leapfrog is not on the 330. Leapfrog is not on the 330. Miles Neff, do you understand? The 330 is a local television program on Oklahoma's News Channel 8.
Now it has the WGBH Steel, read by Leilani Jones-Wilmore. What, Leilani Jones-Wilmore? Do I have to hear Leilani Jones-Wilmore, or Miles Neff, or even Kim, I guessed, on the 330 again? And it's gone. Mr. Polish, what are we going to do next? Try again, Mr. Polish. Try again, try again, try again, try again, try again. Andre Ware, Mr. Polish. Andre Ware is not on the 330.
But what if Andre Ware was on the 330? Next thing you know, you'll be thinking about Kim, I guessed.
Mr. Polish. Miles Neff. Security.
Our view zooms into Mr. Pinwheel and words appear over a black background. Miles Neff. With Boone and Polish.
Security. Mr. Polish, I need to call security immediately. Security for Mr. Miles Neff. What is wrong with you? Miles Neff.
No signal. Now the slide reappears again.
And now, Mr. Polish, you've added Route 66 to the 330. Miles Neff, you better be in here this very instant because I'm gonna need you to see all of this.
Later, after Clint Boone gets sent to Miles Neff's office with Mr.
Well,
Polish.
what do you think? We might as well go out to lunch, or
I'm thinking about Chuck E. Cheese's.
Chuck E. Cheese's at 6 o'clock at night. Channels 2, 6, 8, and 23 are on the news at 6.
Pinwheel.
And please, do not call me Pinwheel. There isn't a Pinwheel in sight, and I don't need Mr. Pinwheel to be at NBC Productions. If you need Mr. Pinwheel, you need to go to CBS. If Mr. Pinwheel is at NBC, I will send you to Miles Neff. Miles Neff, Miles Neff, Miles Neff, Miles Neff, Miles Neff. Pinwheel.
Credits roll as highlights appear in a video remix. This program has been described by the Media Access Group at WGBH, with funding from NBC Productions and YouTube. Described by Matthew Lane and Alice Austin. Read by Allison Harper. This program has been rated TV PG. A logo, NBC Productions.